All right. See that? Okay. Who has the mic? Ask your question.
Hi. My question is about the pricing structure.
Yes.
I agree. $10 a month is good for me. But there's this myth. Gamers are 30-year-old guys live in a basement, by themselves. My husband plays. We have 2 teenage daughters who play. $40 a month for all of us to be able to access it does not seem reasonable. Are you thinking of having like a household pricing plan?
Well, no, it's a great question. It's a great question. You certainly are free to share your password and log in with anybody you want. I think the question you're asking is, can you and your family all be logged in at the same time and running a game together, right? Correct. We don't have any plans for that right now. Just like most subscription-based products out there, it's one subscriber to one user. But who knows? Right now, I guess the answer is no, we don't have any plans for that. So.
You guys have had quite a lot of tech issues with both with the D&D campaigns and the Everon particularly, and as well earlier this year with the systems going down and preventing people from ordering games. When you're starting to charge people for money for this, I'd like to know what steps you put in place to make sure that you don't have huge amounts of downtime, and what steps will be taken to refund or compensate customers when this downtime happens.
We certainly have experience with downtime. We have this program called Magic Online that has its occasional downtime. I think we've been really good about compensating consumers that do experience downtime. In terms of what we're doing to, I can't speak to specifically, we're going to give you X, Y, and Z, but we have a great customer service team that's been very responsive to consumer issues on MidGo. In terms of what we're doing, we're working with a very large server farm that will provide the bandwidth that we need to hopefully prevent downtimes. I think the downtime you're probably referring to was the crash that we experienced at Gen Con with our countdown timer that told people exactly the second to log in. Let's just say that bigger sites than ours have had that same DNS problem, and we'll be addressing that with.
You guys get Slashdotted?
Pretty much, yeah. So, and we took EN World out in the process. So.
Okay. Regarding your map maker, are you going to allow things to be scaled or rotated, or is it all going to be set by the grid?
It does have a snap to grid function if you're using the tiles. There is, I think, the ability to go off the grid. I think you turn off the snap to grid function. That would be a great question to ask at the demo.
One other thing regarding the visualizer. Have you considered the option of allowing people to have the model that they create in that be turned into a physical miniature?
Yeah, we have talked about that. And so the way we're actually doing our miniatures going forward is we're slowly transitioning from clay modeling to CAD modeling. And so we potentially have the ability to do 3D printing where you could get a resin form mini of your PC. That's a future idea, but one we've talked about, especially as the costs of 3D printing come down and those services become more widely available to do that. Yeah.
Right,
so.
and even before that, you'll be able to turn that character visualizer into a virtual mini on the table. So.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for all of you guys out here that came, because you guys are doing a great job keeping up a game we love. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Second of all, on the character creator, is this going to be an online-only tool, or will there be an option to have it on your PC for when you're not? Because there are still people out there that use dial-up, can't be on all the time, and still want to be able to work on their creators. How are you addressing that situation?
I believe there's an offline function, and then what it does is when you'll have to log in. You can save that to the file to your local machine, and then when you log in, it will do all the data update at that point. So.
Well, I have an interesting possible alternative to her question about having a whole family. The DM, obviously, as you were saying, is going to have the option of controlling the game in the Insider. He designates NPCs and whatnot. Can those NPCs be, say, maybe potential family members? Can they be, and the, can understand the question?
Yeah, you could probably backdoor the system by running it on 4 monitors. I mean, there's no rules adjudication,
Well,
so if you wanted to assign an NPC status and let that be a PC, yeah, I guess you could do that. I mean, you could just project, the DM could run the game from his or her table, project it onto either a desktop monitor, a flat screen TV, a digital projector like we have here, use that as essentially as a game table and run the game. The thing is that, you know, there is the DM view, and so there are certain things that the DM sees, a fog of war that the players don't necessarily see. You could probably min-max that experience by using layers and having this sort of dungeon evolve as you roll it out through layers. Each layer expands on a particular hallway or room, and you guys are gamers. You'll figure it out. I think you'll find all our weak points. So, yeah.
So are you saying that even though we're limited to 50 miniatures online, we can save as many as we want on our local hard drive?
Yeah.
So DM could switch them out. I mean, if he had
Yeah.
certain adventure, he could put 10 up there.
Yeah, and those aren't monsters. I mean, those are.
I mean, NPCs.
Yeah.
NPCs.
If you want to create minis, then use them as NPCs. And a combination of NPCs and PCs, you're limited to 50. But then any monsters that you have are separate from that. So this is essentially a 3D model with a character sheet attached to it.
Hi.
Hi.
I can't help but notice that you're running your presentation here on a Mac.
Hey, look at that.
Can you talk a little bit about Mac support, or which of those tools will be web-based and which of them are going to be thick client?
So first of all, we're not supporting Mac. I think that's been widely stated. I personally have not run. I have Parallels with XP on my machine. I have not tried the tools to see if they run on that. The game table and the character visualizer, I believe, are Windows only. I cannot speak with a lot of certainty to the Dungeon Builder. I believe that's a web app. Or I believe the Character Creator is a web-based app. And then, of course, pardon me? The rules database is online as well. So I believe all those will be functional through a Mac. DDA Monine is our producer for D&D Insider. He's out in the hall setting up the computers right now for the demo. That's a great question to ask him. He'll tell you specifically which app will run on what type of machine.